Episode 1, Take 1000, The Paper Jam. I'm Kate. Let's go. First of all, who the fuck am I? Kate, girl. And what I have been doing is overthinking the fuck out of long form content. So I said, you know what? Shut the fuck up, all that thinking, bro. Sit down in the bed, be in your comfy place, and just go. What the fuck? So here we are, going. Okay? Episode 1, Take 1 trillion. The motherfucking paper jam. Is it a podcast? I don't know. But I'm Kate. uh, I began doing the internet, yelling, talking shit on the internet as a full time job on February 1st, 2024. It has been a wild ride, but it is the coolest shit of my fucking life. It makes no sense to me. Like, how, what? But here's my tea. So I started on, and I am primarily on TikTok. Um, just kiki and haha and bullshitting. I love history, so I talk about history. And oh, I was fired on February 1st for my job, like my 9 to 5 job. Um, Perhaps we can go into that another day. Uh, I worked at a higher education institution, post secondary, so like folks had graduated college. It was a trade school of sorts, and I was concerned about the institution's inability to prove gainful employment, which means like to prove that when folks graduate from here, they are in fact better off with this here certification. You understand what I'm saying? Like, gainful employment means, hey, bro, at the institution, when you take these people's money to give them X, Y, and Z diploma type shit, do they then make more money with this degree, with this thing? Do they, like, is their life better off? If you cannot prove that, then this is fraud. I got fired. So I said, you know what? What happens if I just bet all the chips on me? And it was beautiful timing because it all happened on February. Like, I got fired February 1st of 2024. And I said, okay, February is the fucking shortest month of the year. I had monetized my TikTok account in December. So I had made a little, made a little money in December and January. Enough that I could say, I'll give you one fucking month to see if you can't make something shake. See if this shit works. See if you can, you know, do whatever the fuck on the internet. Anyway, long story short, it worked. So that's crazy. Um, Basically, I want to start making longer form content. I want to start making longer videos where I can really go into shit and really, you know, continue talking shit for more than 10 minutes. So here's the purpose of this page, I guess. I have like 4 main things. First of all, what the fuck do I talk about? Well, a lot about history. History. But to me, history is like the stock market of humanity, meaning um, I think the best way to determine or to kind of predict what's going to happen in politics, in a civilian population, in X, Y, and Z is to look to history and see like what has happened before and then what was the outcome. You know what I'm saying? So history to me, and like to just understand how did this happen? How did these people turn out like, this? Why do people feel like this? Why did da da da? The best thing to do is know the history because it is it's all of the context of whatever issue, whatever thing you're looking at. So I love history. And I also think that history is taught lame as fuck. Especially like in school, they teach history lame. It's like remember all these names, remember all these dates. Names, dates, names, dates, whack. Whack a phone. Uh and in reality, history is just tea and gossip, kind of. So I think if history is presented not lame as fuck and it's presented like storytelling, then it's tea. Hang on one second. My dog's about to be a pain in my fucking ass because God forbid her mother takes 5 minutes to try and give this bitch a better life. Let mommy monetize on 2 different things. God damn it. Maybe you'll have a yard one day. That ass though. Uh, Carrying on. I also think that like the way I'm from the United States, born in the US, been raised in the US, blah blah blah. I think that the way history is taught and like what history is taught, like whose history is taught, from whose perspective, is oftentimes not the full picture and everything. So I don't know. It's important to me to like fucking learn. A lot of times people will say to me, or I have had this said to me a lot, is like, oh my God, if you hate America so much, why don't you fucking leave? Why don't you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna stop you right there. You're the one who's saying that I hate this country, not me. I love this country. I don't love our government and the things that our government has done historically or currently. But the people of this nation, of the United States, I love the people of the world. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's an sorry, because I thought of one. A nation where the entire civilian population is all ass. Yeah, no, there's not, bro. Where like the whole citizenry is garbanzo. If my dog starts working, sorry. Where the whole civilian pop is chitty. That's not true. Basically, here's the deal. There's a whole bunch of citizens of the world, a couple billion of us, getting fucked by our government. There's like 20 old men in charge of each country who all screw, enrich themselves and screw the populations. That's lame. So when I talk shit about the United States, I don't talk shit about the people of the United States. I mean, maybe I do in terms of like history and things, but no, bitch. Here's what I think. I think the United States is an extremely young country that has so much potential. And I think that we, as a nation, there's a lot of evil shit done in the name of the United States. That's fucked up. But I love this country. I hate both uh, political parties. I think a two-party system is dumb as fuck. But yeah, I don't hate this country, dude. That's a common critique. Or like, oh my God, you hate being white. You hate that it ain't. Shut up, bitch. Like, stop making things what they're not. You dig what I'm saying? Here's my thing. My great, 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 or, oh, okay. Whenever I talk about another country and they're like, this is rich coming from somebody who is clearly not a Native American. True. I'm not. My great, 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 great grandfather was probably a bitch of a man. Whomst ever came over here on their Mayflower big one was probably a real prick. I need you to be willing to say the same. And that's the whole point. And that's what I was saying about like the histories, the stock market of mankind. You dig? Is that, yeah, so now where do we go from here? That's the whole point, is to not repeat the sins of your ancestors, gangster. Jesus. So that's that. I think, I'm not really a fan of politicians, not really a fan of anybody's government as a whole. I think politics is dirty, dirty fuckery. I think politics, no funny shit, is the business of existing. I always would say, I would say for a long time, I hate politics. I hate politics because it is the business of everything that I care, like the shit that I really care about. Whether or not a cancer patient can fucking pay their rent this month matters to me deeply. Whether or not the poor kid at school is able to have a free lunch matters deeply to me. The potholes in the road, I wouldn't say they matter deeply, but I do give a fuck. Fill those bitches. People being able to afford a house, people being paid well. Like, all of this shit is so important and so 911-ish and matters to me so much. But politics is like you know, the business of. Deadass, I don't know any other way to say it, but that to me is gross. I care on like a human level, not on a fucking legislation and this and that level. That shit is goofball. Um, and I also, the shit that I talk about, whether it's politics or history or whatever the fuck, I try and just talk the way I talk. You know what I mean? Like the way I'm talking to you right now is the same way I'm going to explain the First World War and this and that. Like, I think a lot of times things are made very confusing on purpose. You know what I mean? Things are made very confusing on purpose. Whether it's, finance shit, which don't look to me for that, sister. I don't know. Um, People reach a certain age that there is indeed such thing as a dumb question. If I go to buy a car and they're like 0% on APR finance, whatever the fuck, and I'm like, hey, what does that mean? What that means to whoever's selling me a car is that they're about to get some good old commission off of me because I don't know nothing. You know what I mean? So I can't let them know that I don't know because then I'm going to get fucked. To me, knowledge is not a privilege. That's our right. Like, we have a right to know what the fuck is going on. It's our money, it's our labor that keeps this bitch turning. So don't screw me. Damn it. But when things are explained like, so when you look at the interest rate of the in the language of whoever, girl. Mm-mm. And it's not even necessarily a dumbing down. It's just like, yeah, but make the shit accessible at all. Like, no, I'm not dumbing it down because I'm saying the exact same shit. It's the same information. I don't think I'm dumb. But I'm also not going to sit here and try to talk to you like I'm both Merriam and Webster. Because who the fuck wants to listen to that? Not me. Bitch, talk like a thesaurus. I don't want to hear all that fuck. Just talk. So, that's what and that kind of goes into also the way that I try and, like, tell history. You know what I mean? Is like, shut the fuck up with these boring ass, the exploration. Girl, give me the story, darn it. That to me is important. And yeah, I have a insatiable desire to know shit. I'm never satisfied with, like, there's always more to know. I think I'm nosy as fuck is what it is. I just want to know what everybody all over the world is doing, what y'all doing, what y'all got going on. How do you live? What do you eat? What do you wear to bed? What do you wear to bed is crazy. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying. How do y'all do life? Because I love history, a lot of time people will ask, what's your favorite historical period, or what's your favorite, like, thing in history to study? I don't really have a favorite historical period. My, like, niche historical thing that I enjoy is religion. um which, to me, those things are very intertwined. I don't personally have a religion. I don't ascribe to any certain faith. My relationship to God and my relationship to my family, two most important things in my life. People then like to ask me, well, which God? Like that's some kind of gotcha. Girl, I don't know. Peter, Eric, Stephen. What is your God called? Mine is just God, sister. I don't know. But what I do know is there is a over half of the world's population does ascribe to a certain faith. And for me, as somebody who don't ascribe, and still my relationship to God is insanely important and guides my life in many a way, I know that whatever your faith is, this over half of the population, whatever your faith is one of, if not the most important thing in your life. Therefore, it dictates how you move. It inform, bitch, it's a stock market of how you about to be, to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's important to me too, because I'm so nosy about the whole world. Because I'm a nosy fuck, and I just want to know what everybody's doing, how they're doing it, and what they're da 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 da. I need to know your, like, I need to be aware of what your religion says. I really hope you can't hear my dog eating her own ass in the background of this video, and if you can, sorry. I'm coming to you live and in color. I'm coming to you real on the real holy spiel. Okay? Girl, I don't know. What the fuck? Now, religion. Huge fan. Although I do tend to listen, I'm only 28 years old, baby. I got plenty of time, God willing. Um, my I'm hip to the Abrahamic religion, so Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Rastafari, which is just like a rare offshoot. That don't worry. Um, those are the big ones. Because I can tell you now, for the Abrahamics, it's over 60% of the world's pop that are of an Abrahamic faith, whether it's Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. But it's fascinating to me, and I think it's important to learn people's religion, because I think a lot of time religion is something that is inherited. You understand what I'm saying? You believe what your mom and them believe. Same thing with your politics, because this is the kind of shit that's like it's not comfortable to question a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, the easy thing to do is to be like, yeah, that's what I am. Let's carry on. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy, and it ain't. I'm not sitting here being like, do better, bitch. But like, yeah, that's a thing. I think that folks just oftentimes go with the flow of the. Can you hear me, gang? Go with the flow of the familial, whatever the fuck. Que más? What else? So yeah, I don't necessarily have a favorite religious, or excuse me, I don't have a favorite historical period, but I love like the study of religion as a how religion has influenced history. Fascinates my whole spirit. Um so yeah, bro. This here page, we just and bro, I'm not sitting here saying that everything I record is going to be you learning about history and religion, cuz sometimes I just want to be a dickhead and talk, you know? And early on in my being on the internet career, whatever the fuck this is that I do, apparently I'm funny. And that's how I started on the internet, was just being a silly ghost, you know? I do lots of impressions. People are, oh my god, because I can, talk like a Jamaican accent, talk like a British accent. Aw, people enjoy that shit. You know what I mean? But it got to a certain point when I, hit like 100,000 followers on TikTok. I was like, all right, so are you just gonna say to these 100,000 people, like, rice and pea, aki and saltfish, and just like be a clown, I mean, listen, I think humor is inherently kind of political. Making a motherfucker laugh while the earth is burning around them is a powerful thing. But I realized, son, the size of the amount of people that I'm able to reach, like, doesn't even compute in my brain. But I think that I have a responsibility, if there's this many people, to like talk about shit that matters. You know what I mean? And at first, I was like nervy about that shit, because I say nervous about it, because I was like, bruh, self, you're good. Like, by nature, you're a silly bitch. You know what I mean? You talk goofy. You like, you're very, I don't know, like, you're funny. You have a very presence. So what the fuck are you going to talk about something serious for? You think people are going to take you seriously? Please. People aren't going to think that you know what you're talking about. And why is this coming from you? Here's my thing. One, it all circles back to the shit that I was saying earlier about, yeah, but sometimes it's better when knowledge or information is coming from someone that's not like, hello, my name is, shut up. You know what I mean? Those are my favorite teachers, the ones who were cool. So, that isn't inherently at odds. And what really made me realize, like, no, bitch, these, self, you don't need to compromise one part of you so the other part can shine. You don't have to, like, not say anything about anything so that you can be funny. And you don't have to say everything about everything and then never tell a joke again. You know what I mean? That's not your girl contains multitudes. Shut up. Everybody dies, god damn it. Like there's layers to people. I'm not just here to about information, and I'm not just here to be on some knock knock silly goose shit. When I really realized, oh, no, these things are very braided together for me, like humor and advocacy and knowledge. I got a little homeboy named Elias in Gaza. His dad is Muhammad. I became close with their family. And we were on a video call together, me and the little boy. And we did the chicken dance together. And him was laughing, carrying on, this and that. And I realized, I guess, or that moment was such a display of humor and being lighthearted and treating people like more than their circumstances is fucking powerful, dude. And it's super important to not just be like, oh my god, I'm thinking about you, praying for you, yo, how is everything? Fucking terrible? Uh-huh. Da da da. Stop. And those when I was oh, when I was in 8th grade I was abused. And the people who I am still close with at 28 years old, who knew me during this time of my life, were the people who never like treated me weird. You know what I mean? I mean, I was actively going through a hellacious thing, but people who weren't like, hey, oh, you know what I mean? Like, god damn it, I'm still me. What the heck? And also, let me say this: a lot of people like to be like, "See, that's why you're so funny because of your trauma." Shut the fuck up! Nobody molested the funny into me, bitch. I've been funny. That's true. That I've been a silly goose type of woman. But then humor became very much a defense mechanism, and also a way to like, let me tell my story. And I'm very, again, even when I'm talking about something that serious, about being fucking abused as a child, my abuse. So it's like, nah, those two things are not inherently at odds, bro. It makes shit possible to even fucking discuss. If it's like, I made a bitch, or again, seeing somebody as more than the circumstances that they are in, like that's important, dude, and very 911. Um, yeah. So what are we doing on this channel? Shit. Listen, I just hope you learn something or you laugh. Or both would be tight. But I do need and want to start making longer form content. Start making, videos where I can be more like, talk from myself instead of like, here's all this info. A fucking podcast of sorts, bitch. This is the motherfucking Paper Jam podcast. I don't even know. This is just a little intro. Just a little intro. So what are we at? About 20 something minutes? Listen, maybe there'll be 20 something minutes. Maybe there'll be a full hour. Maybe sometimes there'll be fucking 13 minutes. Maybe sometimes there'll be an hour and a half. I don't know. But I'll be damned if I don't go ahead and get this motherfucking ball rolling. Okay? If you have just found me, hello and welcome. I hope you stick around. Subscribe, follow, do whatever the fuck. And I fucking appreciate you guys, real shit. That's my dog. She needs to go out or something. I don't know. But thank you. Episode 2 coming eventually, bitch. I don't even know. Love y'all. Let's fucking party.